my work. If you don't mind, I would quickly speak about Dankalia in Eritrea. The Afar, Dankalia is a traditional homeland of Afar people, which is stretched from the northern tip of Masawa Bori all the way to Masawa bordering Rahaita. So this is very, very strategic area. Currently, there is about 5 or 6 superpowers very near to Dankalia. Some of them are stationed in Djibouti, as you know, French, Americans, Japanese, you name them. There's because of this strategic location, our people, historically, the Afar people have been targets of both by international colonization, but also aggression within in the Ethiopian highlands. So
እነኚህ ውሎች በ1947 ዓመተ ምህረት የተባበሩት መንግስታት ሽሯቸዋል፣ ውድቅ ናቸው ብለዋል። ምክንያቱም ጣሊያን አንድ ሉዓላዊ ኢትዮጵያን ወራ ምስራቅ ጣሊያን ኤምፓየር የሚል ግዛት አቋቋመች። ሁለተኛ ደግሞ እንደዚሁም ጣሊያን ራሷ ከተሸነፈች በኋላ ውሎችን ሰርዛለች። በሶስተኛ ደረጃ ደግሞ በ1952 ዓመተ ምህረት በነጋሪት ጋዜጣ በታወጀ በኢትዮጵያ ሕግ መሰረት እነኚህ ውሎች ውድቅ ናቸው ተብለው ፈርሰዋል እና በሙሉ በፈረሱና በተሻሩ ውሎች ነው የአልጀርስ ስምምነት የተመሰረተው። ይሄ ሕገ ወጥ ነው።
Can you, no, sorry, not Dead Sea, the Red Sea. Can you see why she brought this problem up? That's why today, even today, when you look at goods that come from China or Japan, they all come by ship, don't they? Because it's the cheapest way to always send goods, because all you need is wind. You don't need anything else. So she decided to go and check this out, and that's why she wrote her book, Meccan Trade and the Rise of Islam, in 1987. And she went back to the original documents. Remember, she reads and writes 15 languages, so she can read all these languages in their mother tongue. And she found that there was no trade whatsoever up the Western Plateau. The only trade that went up the Western Plateau was milk and leather, and all the trade was coming this direction. It came further south. It did not go to Aden. It went right up the Red Sea, and what was most important, this city was in charge of all the trade, Agelus, which is here in Eritrea. The Ethiopians, the Eritreans, controlled all the trade because they were people who were on boats. Their names are found all over the west coast of India. The Arabs never were involved in that trade because the Arabs were mainly caravanners.
From the African origin of civilization, myth or reality, this statement. But you have to understand that there was activity across there, battles between Arabs and other Semitic people who were in that Arabian peninsula and our people in Meru, Aksum, in the Ethiopian heartland there. And this was happening a couple hundred years before the main Arab body moved out, because they couldn't move in force across the Red Sea in those days. Moved higher up, and that's the invasion I'll be talking about later, and that's really when the weight of the Arabs came over. But they came, and after that, they kept coming across the Red Sea as they developed their skills. But let me point out something to you which is not pointed out. Page 151 of the African origin of civilization, myth or reality, Sheikh Anta Diop. And I'll go to the previous paragraph. Reisner, which is one of these fake European, and George Andrew Reisner, fake great Egyptologist, Diop says he could not have failed to know that Nubian civilization dates back to 1500 BC. That is to say, prior to the appearance of the white Japhetic Libyan in Africa, Consequently, the problem is not to seek Libyans in recent Nubian history, but to find some at the start of that civilization about 5,000 BC. This task Reisner was careful not to attempt. Then he says, when Muhammad was born, Arabia was a Negro colony with Mecca as its capital. The Quran refers to the army of 40,000 men sent by the king of Ethiopia to crush the Arab revolt. One corps of that army consisted of warriors mounted on elephants. Heard that before? The Romans know that, don't they? What was his name? Hannibal. De la Fosse himself is obliged to record that suzerainty of Ethiopia over Arabia. You can